Okay, guys, a very warm welcome to all my attendees and to also my honorable guest for today, Ms. Nisha Darmwal. We are here today to talk about Algoma University, a university which is well established and also has established a lot of students' career and have made them path-driven and oriented. Coming towards our guest today, Nisha Darmwal. She believes into to-the-point guidance. She has always been a person who has guided students throughout, has given guidance for their career, for the courses they should select, and Algoma University stands tall with more than 30 courses. And as we all know that the current scenario, COVID-19 has affected all the parts of the world. But yet, all the universities have tried to stand tall and stand still amidst this entire pandemic so that we all can have our dreams still alive to go and study abroad. So I would love Nisha to now continue and take over and present her presentation.
Thank you so much, Tanvi, for having me today on the live session of the Collegedunia on the live streaming today. And it's one of the great opportunity for me to speak to our viewers and students who have a plan to go and study abroad and study in Canada. So I think Algoma University being always very unique, and we proudly share our feedback and experience with international students, those who are looking forward to go. So I think for me, it's like superb job because every day I understand like people are like having a lot of challenges. They are really panicking about the current situation. But for me, I don't have a time to even thought about it, what exactly people are moving on, how the situation is going on, because every day for me it's like super busy. I'm talking about Algoma University, meeting parents and students. So I didn't think so. I have a time to think about what exactly things are actually going on. But I know the situation currently in India, especially in Maharashtra, Delhi, Mumbai, everywhere, a lot of people are facing a lot of challenges right now due to this COVID crisis. But I think we as a like Canadian, we are like managing a lot of good things. We are still maintaining this social distancing, and as well as we are promoting aggressively this in South Asian market. So I think this is one of the great opportunity for me to speak to our viewers and students, those who are looking forward to go, because we are still open for September 2020, and it's great opportunity because we come back with amazing requirements, scholarship, application waiver. Also, I'm pretty much excited to be a part of this Collegedunia session. Thank you so much for having me today. So, Tanvi, do you want me to start the presentation and the video first?
Put that up.
Yeah. Great. So I wanted to start first of all about the video about our main campus located in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. I wanted to present this first. Then I can start the presentation quickly. But I really appreciate to all the students. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your question on the comment section. We will definitely return back to you. Is it presentable?
Yes.
Here, we celebrate something special. Something bigger than just you or me. Here, we take a closer look at ourselves and those around us, seeing what's important, what's right. Here, we can expect to meet those who think like you and those who bring something new. Here, we are proudly unique. Here, we honor heritage, voice ourselves, declare ourselves. Here we find meaning, accept challenges, build communities. Here we choose to be great with others who are great. Here we learn that transformation can lead to amazing things. Here, we and you can be all in. Algoma University. Come take a closer look.
So I'll quickly gonna start the presentation, and as I said earlier, if you have any question, feel free to ask a question on the comment section. We will definitely return back to you. So yeah, Algoma University is one of the oldest university in Canada, more than 20 years back, old university. We established in 1965. So the facts about that today we are going to highlight about our campus location, about the history about Algoma University. So we are located in one of the beautiful province in Canada, which is Ontario. We have a 2-campus location in Ontario, basically. Our main campus located in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Another campus we have a Brampton, Ontario. So that's one great opportunity for me, because whenever I speak about Canada, it's always give me a motivation and love support, because being a university, we have amazing opportunities for international students. We have a lot of amazing program, variety of the courses. It doesn't matter if student from like any background, if they are from arts, commerce, medical, non-medical, they have a right to choose to study in Algoma University. So we are welcoming a lot of international students right now for September 2020. Those are looking forward to go. So you can see on the slide that this is one of the great map, our Ontario location. So I'm not sure that if you're able to see this properly about the Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, this campus location located in Northern Ontario, one of the regional location in Canada, or very close to US and Canada border, hardly 20 minutes drive. We are very close to border city to the US, Michigan, and Chicago. So that means if you have a really great chance to go and explore the life in Canada, you can explore the life in US. So that's one of the great advantage you have. Another campus, we have a Brampton location, because Brampton campus, we are located in Greater Toronto, downtown the location we have. And this campus very close to Toronto and Toronto Pearson Airport. So one of the fact about in Brampton location, because I'm sure those who are student attended the session today from Punjab, and you have seen that how big is the Punjab we have, and same like in Canada, we have a Brampton location. So it's one of the great opportunity we have, because in entire Brampton location, we are promoting Algoma University as a unique university, because in entire location in Brampton, there are a lot of private colleges and public colleges published. But except Algoma University, there is no other university exists except ours. And it makes us feel proud and unique about whenever we talk about Algoma University. So that's what we talk about, that what is the best advantage to studying in Brampton location, what kind of a programs and opportunities we are offering to our international students. So for Brampton to Sault Ste. Marie, we are almost via drive 9 hours, but via flight we are almost 1 hour 30 minutes. So we are not that far from Brampton to Sault Ste. Marie campus location. But the advantage of Sault Ste. Marie is like this campus surrounded by beautiful nature, mountain, 3 lakes superiors, a lot of advantage, especially those who are looking forward to recently migrate, those who are looking forward to study. And the new immigration has been implemented in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, the rural pilot immigration. So you can even go and Google it about what is exactly the meaning about this rural pilot immigration. That means if you graduate from Algoma University, after 6 months quickly, you can apply for a permanent residency. So there's no as such competition around in terms of studying in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So I wanted to highlight about on the next slide that when I was in Canada and when I was visited to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, I understand the fact about how the local people, how the local Canadians, they pronounce the name of this Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So whenever you have a plan to study in Canada or maybe Sault Ste. Ontario, you will understand the best fact about it, how you have to pronounce this name, how you have to call it. So we call it as a Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Rather, we have to call it as a Sault Ste. Marie. So this campus, very close to US border, very close to Michigan, Chicago, New York. You can easily touch down to, you can easily go for your holidays if you have a valid visa, passport for US visa. So that means it's quite amazing and flexibility for you to study in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Coming back quickly on the next slide. So on the next slide, again, we are talking about Suits and Mary, Ontario. So I really excited about whenever I talk about Suits and Mary, Ontario, because when I've been to this particular location, I understand the facts about not only as a student but as a tourist also. We need to explore, we need to understand the beauty about like Canada. We need to understand the culture over there, what kind of a surrounding, the religions, the culture of people are actually following. But Susan Mary, Ontario, it's one of the beautiful campus I have ever seen, surrounded by beautiful mountain nature, three lake superiors you can see. So if you're studying in big cities like Brampton, Toronto, Mississauga, and Vancouver, you may not able to enjoy and explore the environment and the city over there. But that's the one of the fact about people really loving the campus. They're enjoying because it's surrounded by beautiful nature. So that's one of the fact about, because even if I get an opportunity to study, I would definitely recommend you to study in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario campus location. Coming back quickly on the again next slide on the Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So if I'll start comparing with Sault Ste. Marie to Brampton campus location, the things is quite affordable over there. Things is amazing over there. Everything just within the 5-10 minutes walking distance. You don't require, especially in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, the entire location. You don't require the local transportation, local like buses and metro, because everything just a 5-10 minutes walking distance. That's even my experience when I went to one of the shopping complex, Walmart, a medical shop, or any restaurant. I don't require the transportation. I don't require the public any cabs over there, because everything is just a 5-10 minutes walking distance. Even though if I'll start compare with Brampton to Sault Ste. Marie, it's quite affordable in terms of residency, in terms of transportation, in terms of meal, health insurance. It's quite affordable. So normally the expense cost around in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, only $1,000. But if I'll start compare with Brampton location, normally it's cost around for every month 2,000, starting from $3,000. Even though if you're working in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario as part-time 20 hours per week, so the normally wages comes around starting from $15 to $16. Same time in Brampton location, because it's huge competition over there, a lot of demand, a lot of competition around. So the wages comes around starting from $12 to $13. So that's how it just a competition and difference between studying in Brampton and Sault Ste. Campus location. So the fact about studying in Sault Ste. Ontario, because in entire Sault Ste. Location, we are the two institute. One is Algoma University, another is Saul College. So Algoma University, almost 40,000 square feet is a campus where we have, where we can provide you on-campus accommodation benefits, free transportation. We have an amazing library. We have an amazing athletes. That's what I'm going to show you on the next slide. We have an amazing more than 100 plus courses for undergrad and postgrad students. So we have a lot of advantage, not only as a student, but you can explore a lot of things being an international students. So coming back quickly on the next slide, so you can see this is one of our Brampton campus location. This is one of our main satellite campus we have located in downtown. The location we have, that's what students always looking forward to studying in Brampton, Toronto, and Vancouver cities. But the fact about, because this campus we have launched last year on 2019, but we have expanded our campus. But the majority of the courses we have in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. We have a lot of pathway program. We have a partner with like Seneca, Conestoga, Centennial College, George Brown, and even Laurentian University. So those are students finish a diploma 1 year or 2 year, they can get the credit transfer and pathway transfer to study in Algoma University, and you can hold a Canadian degree. So that's why you need to understand the fact about studying in any top university or any in college, because it's a huge competition, it's a huge demand in Canada. Same like if you're looking forward to apply for the permanent residency, you must having a credit points, like you must be having a 480 or 400 points. So same like if you graduate from Algoma University, is one of the public leading university and affordable university in entire Ontario location. So that's what you need to understand before you start applying in any university and colleges. So I think Algoma University is one of the great opportunity to go in Brampton or as well as in Sault Ste. Campus location. Coming back on the next slide. So on the next slide, we are talking about international student and the diversity, because this is something really important. Because whenever we talk about Algoma University, so student always have a question that you must be having like 200 to 300 student in one class size. You have a big class size, and you must be having a regular 5 days classes. So that's not the reality, because Algoma University, such a lovely and wonderful experience I had, because they don't drive 200 to 300 student in one class size. They have normally small class size where student can do one-to-one interaction, 20 to 25 student in one class size, depending on the program and the faculty we have. Even though currently we have more than 3,000 plus students, those who are currently studying in Algoma University in Brampton, as well as in Susan campus location. We have a more than 58 nationalities currently. We have 2020, we have a more than 58 nationality, and even including we have a 35 professors who speaks different languages, because that's one of the again great factor for international students, and especially for Indian students, because every student, they don't have a same mentality, they don't have a same mindset, and they don't even comfortable whenever they speak to our professors. So we have a professor who speaks Hindi, who speaks like different languages. We have a Canadian professors, and we have an Indian faculty also. So that's one of the great advantage you have to study in Algoma University. So we have a normally, as I said, we have a normal class size like 20 to 25 student. We don't have a big class size, and the maximum class size we have a 75 to 100 students. So let's take, if we're moving forward for any practical or any like technical programs like mobile software, project management, or biology, computer science. So we have a normally 75 to 100 student in one class size, but we don't have regular 5 days classes. We do have a 2 to 3 days classes in a week. So that means this is really drive, and this is really exciting to our international students. But Algoma University, they are very focused learning for undergrad program. As I said, it doesn't matter if you're from arts background, commerce background, medical, non-medical, it doesn't matter. We are still welcoming you, who you are, what kind of a background you have, what kind of a grades are you holding it right now. We will still grant you the admission on campus. So that's one of the key factor, because most of the university, they have a lot of hurdles and challenges, requirement in the program, but we are totally different. We are totally different. What we are providing you, what we are offering you right now. So coming back quickly on the next slide. So this is one of our orientation class, but last year we have recruited almost like more than 800 plus students in September 2019, but we are expecting a lot of international students also for 2020 students. So as I said, we have a more than 3,000 plus student in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, as well as in Brampton campus location. Coming back quickly on the next slide. So we are talking about why Algoma University is different and different from other university, because we give you opportunity to learn. We give you opportunity to having this better education, having this learning experience. We give you opportunity to direct interact with professor. It's not something that every student selling on the same board, because some student may not comfortable in one class, so they prefer to go on the private classes, and they recommend to ask for the professor that they can offer you one private classes. So you can see on the left hand side, this is one of our alumni. This is one of our alumni students, and he's from Bangladesh. So he studied like bachelor's of arts in Algoma University in Susan campus location. Then he qualified for business program. Now he's working as a professor. So you can see that we have a lot of huge demand in terms of part-time and full-time opportunities. We have a summer camp jobs also. And even though those who are student graduate from Algoma University, we offered you on-campus placement. So we do have a 90% employment rate, those who are graduate from Algoma University, either Brampton campus location or Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. We really improve on your academic performance, because as I said, every student, they don't even feel comfortable, but we really give you opportunity to having this better education and having this wonderful experience. Same like we are offering you a recommendation and reference on your job application, because In Canada, it's really important for you to understand the fact about, because if you don't have Canadian work experience, if you don't have any recommendation on your job application, it might be a little challenge for you to survive in Canada, right? So I'll give you my example when I was in Brampton and Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, because I have a lot of people over there. I have a great networks over there. But whenever I give them a call, so they understand that yes, what kind of a like help she's seeking for, right? So you need to understand the network. It's really, really important for every student, because network is a key of success. So that way you need to understand. But because our faculty people, they really help you to improve on your resume, how to create the resume, how to interact on the interview, how to build up your reference on a job application. So that kind of a supports you are having it being an international student. Coming back quickly on the next slide, we are talking about the program, because as I said, we have a wonderful opportunity. We have an amazing program for art students, for commerce background, for medical students and science background. So we have a lot of opportunities. So you can see on the slide, we do not deliver any diploma. We do have a undergrad program like 3 years bachelor's and 4-year bachelor's. So on the slide, you can see we have a business, we have accounting, human resource management, marketing, finance, community development. In social science, we have computing, specialized in coding program, computer games. We have an engineering program, which you have to study first year in Algoma University. Then you can get the credit and pathway transfer in Laurentian University. And Algoma University feel very proud about that, because we are partnered with a lot of public colleges in Canada. Same like on the next slide, you can see we have English literature, geomatics, it's history, law and justice, and political science, creative and music. So as I said, if you from done like 12 background, arts, commerce, medical, non-medical, you have a right to choose all the programs right now, because in India we do have a lot of competitions right now, because I'm sure you understand the fact about, because let's take if you have done 12th year from India, any like public school or private schools. So if you do not have 80 to 90 percentage, you're not able to qualify to get the admission in top university in India, like any like Delhi, Punjab, or anywhere. You must be having an 80 to 90 percentage to secure your seats in India, or maybe reference really work. That's how you know how the things actually working in India. But in abroad, in Canada, it doesn't matter. There's no competitive exam. There's nothing like that. If you have even 50 percentage, if you have a 60 percentage, we will still grant you the offer letter. We can still get you the admission in top university. So that's what you need to understand, and you need to figure it out about where you want to see yourself in next 5 years. So coming back quickly on the graduate certificate program, because as I said, we have a wonderful program in undergrad and postgrad. So we do not offer you any MBA or MSc program, because most of the university who offered you MBA or MSc program, they require 4-year bachelor, 16-year degree. They require like GRE, GMAT, SAT exams, 2 years experience with 6.56 in each and 70%. But yes, studying in Algoma University or any graduate certificate courses, we don't require these particular list of document. We still accept you who you are, what kind of a background you have. So we have a graduate certificate in business, human resource management, computing, IT, mobile software courses, environmental science, and health science. So these are the program. We have 1-year code duration. So again, if you have done commerce, medical, non-medical, arts background, we will still accept you. So we are very flexible in terms of requirement, because recently we have done a lot of drastic changes on the requirement right now. So that's what I'm going to talk about on the requirement. But these are the 1-year program we have. That means you can qualify for 8 months study. You can finish a study with a fast track program, and you can qualify for 4 months internship, which can be paid and unpaid. That means if you graduate from Algoma University, after 6 months straight away, you can apply for the permanent residency. That's how easier for you to having this wonderful opportunity. Same like we have launched 2 new program, which is graduate certificate in project management and graduate certificate in human resource management. These 2 new program, That means a 2-year code durations, and you can qualify for 3-year study permit. Few university and colleges, they provide you 1-year postgrad program, like postgrad in project management or any other program. But this is one of the amazing, very selling and demanding right now. In Canada, it's huge demanding for project management. So that's only the one of the unique program we have launched recently, graduate certificate in project management. So I'm going to tell you about the requirement a bit later. But again, these are the program we have currently for Brampton as well as in Susan campus location. Coming back quickly on the next slide. So we talk about in previous slide that why Algoma University is different from other university, because we provide you amazing benefit being an international student. So these are the undergrad research programming we have. If you're moving forward for 3 years and 4-year bachelor's, so that means you can qualify for undergrad research programming. So whenever it's come to research programming, it always clicked on my mind, or it's how I thought that it should be like for PhD student or for master student. But no, that's not the reality, because these undergrad research programming applicable for 3 years and 4-year bachelor student. None other university providing you these wonderful research programming, and that means you can qualify for like having this working as an assistant. You can work as a volunteer ships, and these are the volunteership we have paid and unpaid one. So that means whenever you putting on your resume, you can mention that you have a undergrad research program. It is really impacting a lot whenever, if you're looking forward to work in any multinational company, or if you're really looking forward to work on campus as well. So yes, that's why we are different from other universities. Coming back quickly on the next slide, so we are talking about the co-op benefit, because I'm sure you all understand, having understanding and benefit, know about the co-op benefit, because most of the co-op we have the guaranteed and 100% co-op we have, either you're going forward for 3-year program or 4-year. So these are the paid Canadian work experience. That means you can qualify for full-time 4 months placement, 35 hours per week, and the minimum wages comes around starting from $15 goes up to $20, so depending on the program. But these are the guaranteed co-op we have. Coming back again quickly, so if you're moving forward to studying in Algoma University, so you are qualifying for having this Canadian degree, and you can qualify for post-study work visa. Either you studying for 3 years or 4-year bachelor's, you can qualify for 3 years post-study work visa. Same like for 1-year graduate certificate courses, you can qualify for 1-year study permit, and for 2-year, you can qualify for 3-year study permit. So studying in one of the top university, an affordable university, and having this great benefit, I think you need to explore and start applying it right now. So on requirement, I'll tell you a bit later, because on the requirement, we have done massive changes right now, especially due to this COVID crisis. But I'm going to quickly come back on the scholarship, because on the scholarship, we have done drastic changes, especially for undergrad and postgrad student. So I'm sure you can see on the slide that we have award excellent. We have a dean and chancellor and president scholarship and bursaries we have. So those who are students applying for September and for Jan 2021, we are offering you $2,000 scholarship for undergrad. Those who are applying for 3 years and 4 years, we can offer you 2,000 Canadian dollar scholarship. Same like for postgrad, for either you're going forward for 1-year, 2-year program, we can offer you $3,000 scholarship. So these two scholarships running until June, end of this month, right? So we are offering you these additional scholarship, those who are applying for these two intake. Same like, especially those for those students, those who have just expecting their 12th result, or those who have already holding their result for 12th year, or applying for 3 years or 4-year bachelor's, we are offering you scholarship on the basis of academic excellence. So if you have 60 to 70%, we can offer you $500 plus $2,000. That means you can qualify for $2,500 scholarship. Same like if you have 70 to 80%, you can qualify for $1,000 plus $2,000 scholarship. That means you can qualify for $3,000 scholarship. If you have 80 to 90% in your year 12, so you can expect $2,500 plus $2,000 scholarship. That means you can qualify for straight away $4,500 scholarship. That means you don't have to apply online. You don't have to fill up any form. It comes automatically on your offer letter. Same like if you have a 90 and above percentage, you can qualify for 5,000 plus $2,000 scholarship. That means you can qualify for $7,000 scholarship. So 5,000 we have every year. I mean, whether you're going forward for Jan, May, and September. So these 5,000 we have every year renewable scholarship. So for first year, if you have a fees $20,000, you only have to pay $13,000, $16,000, $17,000, or $18,000. So fees it automatically reduced if you're meeting the requirement in your year 12. Same like for postgrad, we don't have an academic scholarship, but we are generally giving you additional scholarship if you're going forward for 1 year, 2 year program. So these scholarship offer for every student right now. So again, one of the fact about, because few university and colleges already closed for September, but Algoma University is still open and we have a seats capacity. So we can enroll maximum, we can still accept you for undergrad and postgrad, so it doesn't matter. So these are scholarship running $2,000, $3,000 until June 2020. But these scholarship running every year for every intake, so that doesn't matter. So if you're looking forward to avail these opportunities, so please get in touch with Collegedunia team. They will let you know how you can avail these benefits. And coming back quickly on the next slide. So on the next slide, we're talking about whenever you had a plan to study for moving forward, study in Canada, how much it is normally going to be cost for your living expense, for your accommodation, for your health insurance, for your transportation, for your meal, etc. Because Canada, it's big country, it's one of the third most largest destination abroad. But you need to understand and you need to identify that which province, which location, which city you want to go and pursue your further education. Because I give you my example when I was in Canada in Brampton location, because I was there for limited time period. But I understand, I mean, I can spend money as much as I can because I was there for just my business trip. So that's not bothering me at all. But being a student, because you have to spend your 3 years, 5 years, or maybe rest of your life over there, right? But you need to understand the fact about how much it is going to be cost for initially for your accommodation, for your meal, transportation, etc. Because in Brampton, the expenses is quite higher as comparison to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So for Brampton, when I was traveling to Brampton to Toronto, I normally paid like maybe $120 something for one cab, and when I was in Sault Ste. Marie, I pay only just $40. So why I'm telling you, because this is just an experience and you need to identify which location, which city you want to study, either Brampton or Sault Ste. Marie, because Sault Ste. Marie is quite affordable in terms of accommodation, meal, transportation, etc. Because in Canada, every small thing, it's very, very expensive, but you need to do a lot of research and do a lot of homework over there. So you must have for at least for 1 year, at least 20,000 Canadian dollar for first year that you can balance your life, you can balance your expenses over there for your accommodation, for your expense, and for other things, for mobile recharge and etc. If you have a family and friends, then you're pretty much good. You can balance your life. Otherwise, every student, they don't have any arrangements in Canada, but that's how we are helping you to get you this on-campus benefits in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So on the next slide, you can see the cost comparison between in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, as well as in Brampton campus location. So you can see how much it is going to be cost every month, every week in Sault Ste. Marie, as well as in Brampton campus location. For one room, how much it is going to be cost, for meal, for transportation. But you can see Sault Ste. Marie, it's very under control, very under budget. And Brampton, at the same time, it's quite expensive. Every month, you have to spend like $2,000 for your accommodation. But yes, Algoma University offering you on-campus accommodation benefit, which is starting from $5,000 to $8,000. Same time, if you're studying in any big cities like Brampton, Toronto, Mississauga, and Vancouver, it just normally costs around $10,000 to $15,000. So, which is the same amount of fees for your tuition fees, and you're paying same amount of fees for your accommodation expense. So, Algoma University offering you on-campus benefit in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, which is starting from $5,000 and $8,000. So, what exactly you can cover in that amount? We can offer you free Wi-Fi access, one single private room, and three times of meal: breakfast, lunch, dinner. And they prepare all kind of a cuisine. That's from the fact about, especially for Indian student, because they don't prepare only English food, they prepare Indian food also. Because I've seen by myself, they prepared all butter chicken, everything, dal makhani, whatever you like it. And they offer you free transportation as well. So that means you're saving a lot of money on your transportation, which is normally cost every day starting from $10 to $15. Every week cost around $30 to $50. Every month it costs around $300 to $500. So that means you're saving a lot of money in terms of your transportation in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Even though they don't require in that particular amount of location, they don't require the transportation. But if you need, they can offer you a free bicycle from university itself if you want to roam around in Swiss an entire location. So that's how you can utilize these benefits. So coming back quickly on the next slide, that's what I'm talking about, my experience. So on the next slide, I'm talking about when I visited to both the campus location in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and Brampton. So Brampton, it's quite higher in the cost, but Sault Ste. Marie is very affordable in terms of meal, transportation, etc. So if you're studying in Brampton, it's great opportunity. The campus location, everything is so amazing. All the big cities and the big towers and the big companies over there established. But yes, if you're looking forward to have this affordable benefits, so I think if you're studying in regional location, you are getting the additional points for your PR, and as well as the ruler pilot immigration has been implemented. So quickly back on the next slide. So this is our on-campus accommodation. You can see on the next on the left-hand side, one single private room. You can get the access for kitchen. There's a person who can clean the room, who can do the laundry, and the free bicycles also there. So you're having this great opportunity if you're studying in Algoma University. So that's how you can see the experience. And next slide, we are talking about the Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. One of the great factors, security, safety is very important. Very peaceful environment. A lot of people really helping, especially in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and Brampton campus location. People are very great, very helping, and great opportunity because this particular amount of location, we rapidly growing and expanding a lot of international student, less population, but a lot of diversity. So this is overall a feedback about Algoma University, but I'm quickly going to show you our main campus location, what we can offer you in terms of athletes, sports, and we have a gym access. So I think we need to remove this and start this a quick video. But if you have any question, to let me know and we can start this as well quickly. Guys, now we have to start the question answer.
Hey, Nisha. So, very we would like to thank you for this for such a detailed presentation. Okay, so actually we have like you might be saying that we are getting many questions. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I actually went through the questions. So okay, let me just I'll just club those questions for you. Okay, so the first question that I have seen that many people are asking, like, is the September going to be on campus or will it be in the digital form? How is Algoma
So,
University?
Tanav, we are still in the process because there might be a little hope that by next month, July
Hmm.
2020, there might be a chances because the international flights going to be open, immigrations border going to be open, VFS and the immigrations are going to be open for sure next month. But honestly speaking, the situation in India, it's not good. So
Hmm.
we will not recommend it to we do not recommend to students that they can start traveling to Canada because they will be in the 2 weeks quarantine. They will not able to travel. They cannot even to move. They cannot even to go and work anything, right?
Exactly.
But the classes for sure going to be online. That's
Hmm.
100% there because I'm in regular in touch with the student, those who are taking the May intake June classes online right now because the classes remotely are happening, online are amazing going down because student having a lot of flexibility because if they want individual classes, private classes, what they're going to have on campus, the same amount of things they are having it live streaming and online right now. On top of it, students saving a lot of money in terms of transportation, living expense, GIC, travel, accommodation, etc. That means students saving almost 10 to 15 lakh right now. So that means you have to
Hmm.
sit at home taking the 50% you have to take the online classes. Once the situation is pretty much fine, you can start traveling. But in India situation, it's not good. We
Yeah.
will not recommend to a student, but trust me, student having a great experience, those who are taking online classes right now. So the most of the classes for September going to be online for sure by October month.
Got it. Now, Nisha, as you said that the September intake, the applications for the September intake are still open, right? Now, as per my knowledge, like some of the universities, what they were doing were like is that the students who already have their study permits in their hand, they were just rolling out the option for the online classes only to them. Now how exactly are we doing that? Like if a person right now he or she takes decision to go and study in Algoma University and gets an offer from your side, so will you just roll out that online classes option for the student right away, or will you first like tell him to go get a study permit? Because what happens is, let's say a student starts with the online classes. Now basically when the situation improves and the international travel ban is lifted, at that time he or she might or might not get the study permit. He might be rejected for any of the like reasons. So what happens in that case?
So we are doing very new changes. As I said, we have done a lot of drastic changes right now. So those who are student still in the process for the
Hmm.
visa, they
Hmm.
can still taking the online classes because initially what happened, those who are holding the study permit,
Hmm.
they can take the classes because
They
they
can
have a
obviously take the class. Yeah. Yeah.
but now we are in the process from the university. Those who do not even have online, sorry, those who do not have a study permit, they can also take the online classes for sure. Number one. Number two, if they don't want to go for September, so they can defer the cases for sure. But still, we are giving you two options. If you do have a study permit, you can take 50% online classes. If you still do not have, you can still taking the online classes, or otherwise, third option you have, you can defer your cases.
Okay, so now there's a very specific case as I just talked about. Like if someone actually starts with the online classes, but at the time when they apply for the permit, they might get they get a rejection on their permit application. So what happens in that case,
We
basically?
can
So
refund back. We can refund back. We
so
will.
you'll
So
okay.
we will normally reduce our admin charges like three. You can check the offer letter like $350.
Hmm.
So rest of the amount we can return back on the student's account.
Okay, great. So basically, that would be a sigh of relief for all the students because
Oh,
actually we are getting such questions from the students on a
so
daily basis.
I'll tell you one thing, Tanush. So let's take a student who get the offer letter and who had paid the tuition fees,
Hmm.
right? But they have not applied for the visa, but they are changing the mindset. They don't want to move forward right now. They're asking for the refund. In that case, we will not refund.
Got it. Okay.
On the offer letter, it clearly says if you have a refusal, we'll refund you back. Otherwise, we will not deduct. If we will not refund you back, it's non-refundable.
Got it, Nisha. Okay, so Nisha, basically, like many of the students are again asking about the eligibility criteria. First of all, starting with the English proficiency exam requirement. Like, are you guys accepting Duolingo exam, Duolingo test?
Absolutely. So, guys, I wanted to inform you one of the fact about, because if you can check on the Duolingo website, there's a proper list of the university and colleges who all university accepting Duolingo tests at the moment. So, Algoma University on the second number, they are accepting. But yes, we are accepting this Duolingo test. But Tanuj, I would recommend to every student, because if you're moving forward for this Duolingo test, it's just a temporary test. It is not going to be go for a longer run,
Hmm.
because on the Canadian immigration, it is not considered as a English proficiency.
Exam.
For the final, on the later stage, if you're applying for the visa, you have your IELTS, PT, or TOEFL, any of these. But Duolingo not considered as a English proficiency, not for your visa application requirement. So this Duolingo just a temporary to get the admission done, to get the unconditional letter, but it is not going to be. But for the final letter of acceptance, student has to submit the IELTS. So we are accepting IELTS, PT, TOEFL, and Duolingo. So in IELTS, we require 6 overall, 6 in each. We are not entertaining or encouraging any student with 5.5 or 5 band. That's number one. Number two, because they're putting the application under SDS category. So under SDS category, they require 6 overall, 6 in each.
Yeah.
In PT, we required initially we required like 63. Now we have reduced the requirement 60 overall, 15 each.
Okay.
PT, yeah. So TOEFL we required 79. In Duolingo we are accepting 110 for undergrad and postgrad.
Got it.
But
Now,
but sorry to interrupt. If they don't have any of these, again they can
hmm,
still get the conditional offer letter.
conditional offer letter still can be there.
Perfect.
Okay, like just to reiterate, so basically, even if a student they uh, like they get an offer letter on from your university on the basis of a Duolingo exam, still to get the permit, like for the embassy requirement, for the permit requirement, the study permit requirement, they will have to appear for IELTS exam as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so basically coming on to the next point, the online classes, like the online classes that you have introduced now, again, like Algoma University is not only limited to like admitting students from India or say Canada, like you're getting international students from the whole world. Now, how exactly are you catering to the time zones of the individual students? Are the classes that are being conducted, they are live classes, or they're just some recorded like classes? How exactly are you conducting that? How are you accommodating the time zone of each and every student?
So basically, I mean, since you know the time duration in Canada, it's like pretty much 10 hours like back. So we are remotely doing these classes. I mean, we do have a professor who have a different timetable who
Okay.
give like, because in India it's like evening, and for them like it's morning. So they have a remotely classes are going on. It's a flexible timeline we have, but student will definitely get the acknowledgement about that. How we're going to present our classes, how it is going to be happen, weekly, on the weekend, how it is going to be. But you will get the confirmation on your email for sure.
Okay. Basically, the students will get used to the whole timetable in like a week or
Absolutely.
so, I think.
And trust me, Tanuj, because I mean, get in touch with few students who are taking the online class, especially in Delhi and Punjab students.
Hmm.
So they have a good experience, because they told me that we are not finding any such challenge. I know it's like kind of a new change for us, new platform for us to having this online classes because of COVID crisis. But everything's like same. What they're going to have the on-campus classes. So there's no as such changes they are finding it right now.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Nisha, the next question is basically again regarding the eligibility criteria only. Like we discussed about the English proficiency exam. Now, keeping that aside, there are again other requirements like the LOR, the SOPs. Of course, like SOPs, still it's not an issue, but for LORs, students not being able to meet with their teachers, with the like. So, how exactly like
Tanuj, we don't require any of these things. Our
you?
documentation is very simple. Trust me, not like other university. We don't require LOR, we don't require SOP, nothing. So let's take if student, those who are expecting the result 12th year by July or August month, or those who are already holding their documentation, we need a limited amount of documents. Like let's say those who are applying for bachelor, so we need 10th and 11th mark sheet. and valid passport. If you have any English level requirement test, good to go. Otherwise, we need 3 documents. Sorted. You'll get the conditional offer letter. Same like for postgrad student, if you have a 10, 12 updated resume, work experience, or if you do not have final year mark sheet, if you do not have a degree, you can still get the conditional letter. So we don't require long list of documentation, SOP, we don't require letter of recommendation, XYZ, bank statement. We don't require it. We are very simple. Don't worry.
God, actually, that is very simplified for the student as well. Great. Okay, so Nisha, actually, I see that there are students, like many students, who are actually again asking about the cost, the fees, basically the cost of education. So I think if we can just put up the slides for the fees, it will be really helpful for them. Yeah, please.
So you can see, so especially for undergrad, as I said, we have an undergrad like academic basis bursary. So for 12th, we need minimum, yeah. So I'll tell you about. So let's say if any student applying for any arts program, just in case, if I'll give you example, uh, if you're applying for any social development or any psychology or any law and justice, especially arts program, we require minimum 50 percentage. So in that 50 percentage, we don't have these scholarship 500 to 5,000, right? So as I said, we are offering you 2,000 additional scholarship. So the fees is $20,000 for first year, and these $2,000 scholarship, we have a scholarship. So the fees is $18,000 if you have a 50%. No problem, you can still get the admission. If you're applying for any program like biology, computer science, so we need especially minimum score to have these scholarships starting from $500 to $5,000. We need minimum 60 percentage to qualify. So let's take if you have a 60 to 70 percentage, you can avail $500, and $2,000 again we have a scholarship. That means you can avail $2,500 scholarship. So the fees is $20,000. So only you have to pay 18,500 somewhere. Same like if you have a 70 to 80 percentage, you can qualify for $1,000 plus $2,000. That means you can qualify for $3,000 scholarship. That means you have to only pay $17,000. That is $3,000. It's deducted. Same like if you have a 80 to 90 percentage, you can qualify for $2,500 plus $2,000. That means 4,500 deducted from 20,000. The fees is automatically reduced. Same like if you have a 90 and above percentage, you can qualify for 5,000 plus $2,000. 7,000 is there. So that means you only have to pay $13,000. So depending on your score, the moment you are getting the scholarship, the fees is automatically reduced. Same like for postgrad student, either you have 50, 55 percentage, doesn't matter. So for postgrad, for 1 year, 2 year, we are offering all the scholarships like $3,000 to everyone. So the fees is, again, it's automatically deducted. So fees is for postgrad is $18,000, and we are offering you $3,000 scholarship, right? Same amount of fees what you're paying in any public college, the same amount of fees you're paying in Algoma University, which is $15,000. So the fees is automatically reduced.
Great. So to all the students who are actually inquiring about the scholarship, so it's pretty like it's a pretty high chance that you will get scholarships over there, and obviously it for some or the other amount. Okay, so Nisha, the next question is from Jay Srivastav. He's asking like his final year exams for his graduation, they have still not been conducted, and again there is no idea when they will be conducted. So how exactly, what exactly should be the plan ahead for him? Should he apply? Should he wait? Because again, for the September intake, we are still not.
Uh,
Yeah.
I can recommend that if you want to apply, so you can at least get the offer letter and these wonderful scholarship application waiver off. Later on, you can defer your case the moment you can receive at least you can get the admission confirmation in Algoma. Later on, if you want to change, or you can tell us that your mark sheet is pending because everyone knows the COVID crisis are happening, so no one is going to complain about it. But you can apply right now. Reason why I'm telling you, because the application waiver off going on, because our application fees is $125. But those who are student applying through Collegedunia, those who have attended the session today, we are not charging any application fee. So it's completely waiver off until end of the June. Those who are applying for September and Jan intake. So I think for this candidate, I think it's a great opportunity that you don't have to pay any application fees and you can have this $3,000 scholarship.
So I think Jay, you have your answer. just go ahead and apply. So, okay, so Sanskriti is again asking about the scholarships. I think we have sorted that out. So the next question is from Ashish. He's asking, like, is it he has actually completed his BSc in computers, and will he be eligible to take admission in masters for like the MS program for computers? Will he eligible, or
So
will he actually require to show a 4 year graduation degree only?
no. So in most of the universities in Canada, they require 4-year bachelor's because if you're applying in any MBA or any MSc program, yeah. So in Algoma University, we have these graduate certificate courses. If you have 3 years bachelor's, 4-year bachelor, we don't care about. But yes, we can offer you graduate certificate in computing and IT also. This course is offered in Brampton and Susan Mid campus location, but we required minimum 60% to qualify, six overall, six English. Then we are good to go.
Okay. Nisha, sorry.
Yep. Hello.
Nisha, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Absolutely. Tanush, can you hear me? Hello. 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 Tanuj, are you there? Hello. Hello.
Hey Nisha, sorry. There was a technical issue. I'm really
No problem. No problem.
okay. So basically, okay. So Nisha, so again, we are getting questions regarding PhD course also. Like, does Algoma University offer PhD courses?
No, dear. We don't. We don't. We
Oh,
don't have any MBA, MSc. We don't have PhD. We
not,
don't.
nothing. Great. Okay, so like again, like some I see some questions regarding the September intake again. So Jai Srivastav. So again, the situation is like this, that you should go ahead and apply for the September intake in case the situation reopens. Basically, the international travel is like the ban is lifted. Obviously, there might be a chance that the intake will happen on campus, but otherwise, the September intake is totally on. It might be conducted via the online classes in case the ban is not lifted. So okay, Anisha, so basically a generic question from you. So what do you think, what will be the like due to this COVID situation, it has actually impacted the financial situations, the placement, the job scenario as well. So how exactly do you see the future, like the people who are actually coming and studying right now, how exactly will their post graduation or post course job opportunities be affected?
Tanuj, honestly speaking, it's not that currently it's affecting a lot of business, job, people get laid off, even in Canada also, because I'm getting in touch with my students, my parents, and friends over there, and even the faculty people, right? So I whenever I get connected with them, so not only in India, but in entire, like in worldwide, like almost all people, they have lose a job. But I think this is just a maybe next 2 to 3 months that people have to deal with this situation, because those who are losing the job, maybe the circumstances will change, the things will definitely change. They will might be retain all the people, they can start opening all the position job placement vacancies. But I think it is not that really challenging for next couple of 2 or 3 years. It just that, honestly speaking, it's just a temporary. Even though I get in touch with a lot of people in Canada, it's just a temporary that we are dealing with this situation. We are managing this problem, people losing their jobs and everything. But it is not going to be go for a longer period for next 2 to 3 years. It might be resolved easily, and people can start working on their remotely, just having the same life what they used to have it before. So I don't think so. It's going to be next year or 2 3 years or something. That's what I have a clarity, to be honest.
Great. Okay, so I see Tanvi is also here with us. Hey, Tanvi. So you
Yeah,
can.
hi sir. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience caused, Nisha.
Okay, so Tanvi, please carry on with the questions. I think we have covered many of them, and we still have like 5-10 minutes left on the time, and we can go ahead with the questions. Yeah.
Sure. So, Nisha, there's one question which a lot of students probably even ask, and that is regarding the SOPs, the statement purpose, the statement of purpose that you write. So, can you, and they have a question that what should they exactly write in their statement of purpose, which can maybe uh, greater their chances of getting an admission in Algoma University. So, what would you suggest for an SOP?
So first of all, Tanvi, on the admission part, we don't require SOP, to be honest. That's one of the great factor, because we've been very flexible, as I told you. We are not that demanding in terms of long list of documentation, LOR, SP. We don't require. We just need your academic and your work experience you're having, whatever certificate, diplomas you're carrying it. But we don't require SOP. But the SOP you have to work, you have to maintain during your visa application, right? Because getting admission from any university college, it's not a challenge, to be honest. But you have to convince the visa officer what is your intention, what is you meant to be for to study in Canada. Let's take, I'll give an example. If any student who had finished masters, but they're looking forward to go and studying 1 year program in Algoma University, we have get the admission done. But how you can qualify, how you can convince the visa officer, because they are the only people who can approve your stamp and visa and further formalities, right? So I think students need to work a lot. You have to mention the genuinity about that you are genuine student. You will come back to India for sure once you're completing your study. Rather, student have to mention, no, I'll go and settle down. No, I cannot do in this and that. I can settle with my family. I have friends and relative. No. So that's what student need to be keep it in mind, that you don't have to mention about your family, friends, and relatives, because it shows your intention that you study is not the intention. It's not your priority. It's just a secondary option for you, right? So students have to work starting from the introduction, right? What's your background? What's your exactly your currently your introduction part? Then you have to work on your background. What kind of a study? What kind of education? What kind of experience you have? Then you have to mention about why you chose to study in Canada. Why not like other countries? You have to do comparison between Australia, Europe, UK. Why you chose to go in Canada? Third, you have to mention about why you prefer to go studying in Algoma University rather Manitoba, Waterloo, Brock University, XYZ, because there are a lot of university, but why you chose only Algoma? Then you have to mention the fact about university, campus, accommodation, XYZ. So I think the moment you exaggerate, the moment you talk about on recipe, the moment you highlight about your intention and genuinity, it shows your possible thing that you are a genuine student to study in Canada. So I'll give you my example, Tanvi and Tanuj. When I was in Canada a few months back, so it was that was my second trip to Canada. I was never experienced like whatever happened with me. So so when I was start traveling from India, because I don't have my direct flight, I started from India to landed to Frankfurt, then Frankfurt to Toronto, right? It's quite huge and long flight for me, and I was super exhausted. But the moment I landed Toronto Pearson Airport, right? The first time I landed in Toronto Pearson Airport, it took me like 2 minutes for my immigration check. They do all the documentation, they go me off and they approve, right? On the second, my visit, so the immigration people, that guy, he took almost 1 hour 40 minutes, right? 1 hour 40 minutes. So long queue, he asked me such question, XYZ, blah blah blah. Why you here? What is the purpose? What you doing? What's your background? How are you dealing with student? How are you dealing with like partners, parents? How are you convincing your student to study in Algoma University? What is your salary? How many students you're recruiting? He asked me such questions 1 hour 40 minutes, and I was so stunned because he didn't ask me anything before. Why they're asking? So students have to prepare themselves because immigration people ask you these questions because sometimes students what they do, they put all the document and send it to all the partners and agent, but students they do not know about which university they're going, which college they're going, which program they applied. They are clueless. So I think students need to do a lot of research. They have to do SAP. They need to know what university you are preparing, what university you are going, which program are you going, what is your living expect. Everything you have to know because not me, but the immigration people, they will ask you for sure these questions. So you have to prepare yourself a lot. I think these are the best thing that I can advise.
That's like that was actually a lot of questions were asked to you the moment you
Yeah,
entered.
about my salary.
So also students have asked a lot of questions regarding the gap justification. Like there are a lot of people who have done their masters or they've done their bachelors and now they've been working for 5-6 years. So what is the maximum gap justification that Algoma can, like what is the maximum gap period that Algoma can accept?
So honestly speaking, then we as I said, we've been very flexible when it's come to requirement, and as comparison to other university, we are amazing. We are very flexible. Some university they ask like you have minimum 5 years gap education, but in Algoma that's not the reality. If student having a more than 10+ year even gap with experience, we will still accept you. So gap is not a problem. We're accepting maximum gap. Either you have 3 years, 5 year, 8, 10, 15 even, we are pretty much good. No problem. Let's take if any student who had done 2 years 2 years like masters or 2 years diploma, anything, they are still eligible to apply in Algoma University. So we are entertaining master candidate also. Either you are single, married, age is not a factor here. So we are pretty much good. Any student can apply. Backlog initially we required minimum 10, but we have changed the backlog flexibility. So if you have a 10, 15, 20 backlogs, not 50 or 60, but yes, you can apply right now.
So then we have Karamjeet who has actually asked a lot about the agriculture related program in your university. So if you can throw a little light on the diplomas, postgraduate diplomas for agriculture based program and the fee structure.
So basically, we do have one of the very unique program, which is graduate certificate in environmental science. So this is come as it's your agriculture program, but trust me, in Canada, it's a huge demand for farmers and agriculture students. They have a huge money, especially same like for trucks, same like for any multinational companies, same like they have huge demand for agriculture and farmers over there. So we have this one of the unique program which is graduate certificate in environmental science. This course only applicable in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, not in Brampton, where we required minimum 65 percentage in your bachelor's, and in IELTS we require similar like 6 overall 6 in each. But this this particular program only offered in September intake, not for rest of the intake Jan and May. So yeah.
So then we have a few students who have also asked us about the part-time jobs and the part-time job opportunities currently. So would they, if they join right now, would there be part-times available for them, or there's a branch over part-times?
Yeah,
Part-time.
so honestly speaking, especially in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, there are huge, not huge, I can say, but uh, there are quite chances to get the jobs over there because Sault Ste. Marie basically not that big as Toronto, but small city with huge advantage for part time and full time. And even though if you're working in any shopping complex, any as a as a cashier or maybe in McDonald's, or you can stay in like in a barista, Subway, or any shopping complex or any stores over there. So the huge advantage, because I have seen by myself a lot of Indian students are working especially in Indian restaurants because they knew how to prepare the food over there, how to prepare the Indian food, how to supply them. I've seen a lot of Indian students are happily working over there because the wages in Susan Mary, Ontario, it's quite higher as comparison to Brampton. So if you're working as a 20 hours per week, so the normally wages comes around 15 to $16, or maybe goes up to 18 to $20 if you're working in any private cabs over there. Yeah. So if I compare in Brampton, so the normally wages comes around 12 to $13. So the job, it's not that challenge, but normally it takes time, 1 month, 2 months, but you can get the job easily over there for sure.
That's nice. So to all my attendees, I hope we have answered most of your queries. And you need not worry. We'll stay connected with Nisha. We'll keep asking all your queries to her time and again. And Nisha, I would love if you can just give us a parting note, an ending note for the entire webinar. That would be really great.
Yeah, for sure. So I really, first of all, thanks to the entire team of uh, Collegedunia for having me today. It's one of the great opportunity, lovely opportunity for me to talk more about Algoma, because now students exploring a lot of options. But I think whatever the benefits they are having it here, it's tremendous. But I really thanks to Tanvi and Tanush for having me today and speak to our viewers and students about Algoma University and the current situation in Canada. I would love to come back again and update about the latest changes and update about the COVID crisis situation and the Canadian immigration new changes over there, and the program we have launching again on the next coming up year. But yep, thank you so much for having us. And I want to tell all the students and viewers, please focus on your plans, on your dream, what you're always looking forward to, because to be honest, I don't care about how this COVID crisis are happening, because I don't really get time to know about how many cases are happening every day. But just keep it in mind, focus what you're looking forward to. Focus what you're dreaming about. Don't think this COVID-19, because this is just a temporary. Might be there are possibility that Canadian immigration open going to be very, very soon. Start applying now. Grab this opportunity, application, maker of scholarship, whatever you're looking forward to, because might be later on we cannot able to have this wonderful opportunity. So that's I'm always looking forward to, but we will definitely come back again and would love to connect with you all. Thank you so much to you all.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Nisha, for such a wonderful parting note. And to all my attendees, please stay connected with us. We'll be coming again and again for new and more informative webinars as well. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thanks. Bye bye.